How to perfect the presentation of your prospects to help boost investment. We'll look at 3 steps you could follow when presenting your prospects. The preparation of the poster or the on-screen projection, working on the PC to support detailed discussion, and preparing a PDF to provide takeaway content. If you have chosen to hire a stand at events such as the Prospect Fair, they are often measured by how quickly you can attract a passing investor to your stand, for how long you can keep hold of them and persuade them that yours is the prospect to invest in, and what you might provide them so that they can share what they have seen with colleagues when they return to the office. We think these 3 steps all require clear and compelling communication. Over the years, we've asked our clients what they think maps are for, and this is one of our favorite responses. Maps are a canvas used to express complex situations and to help support difficult decisions. They serve a number of purposes: to record and store information, to support analysis and a range of subsurface data, and to present and communicate information and understanding. We're not suggesting there's only one way to present data, or that for every type of prospect the information presented follows the same standard. However, we do advocate that when preparing maps, that standards are important. If there was a mapping average for time versus quality, many mapping solutions would require significant effort but still fail to produce a good result. And the map quality is usually improved by use of a third-party application, such as PowerPoint or CorelDRAW. There are options to create better maps using bespoke solutions where high-quality maps can be produced in less time, which are still connected to the source data, enabling analysis when presenting at events such as Prospects Fair. We believe that better quality maps support better decisions. So let's start with how you can attract a passing investor to your stand. The primary option to advertise your prospect from afar would be the poster. This would potentially be the largest map that could be prepared, a map which includes sufficient data for you to present your prospect. The information could include the regional setting, a structural map, the prospect itself, reference to proven regional prospectivity, such as a neighbouring field in the same play, wells, reservoir properties, and volume summaries, as well as the appropriate map canvas information such as title blocks, scale bars, colour bars, and north arrows. So what helps make a great map? Layout, incorporating the area of interest, as well as ensuring there is sufficient space for associated information to help ensure visual appeal. Location, the ease of determining where you are through use of a location map, the distance to points of interest, and the scale of structures presented. Content, incorporating subsurface data from a broad range of sources to support your interpretation. There are a number of core software packages that geoscientists use, and maps are made more convincing when the data is effectively integrated from all sources onto one canvas. Labeling, clearly indicating what is being displayed, removing any overposting issues, and reducing clutter and possible confusion. Metadata, such as the author and map projection and datum. And color gradients. Color is a powerful communicator. You may be familiar with each of these components that together make great maps, but color gradients are something that we have recently spent some time improving. A perceptually equal color gradient is where color intensity is balanced across the gradient, avoiding incorrect highlighting of certain colors. The gradients, there are about 25 of them, are based on the work by Fabio Cremeri, a researcher in scientific visualization from the University of Oslo. When you have used your poster to engage your potential investor, you may wish to move to the PC to further examine your prospect. To aid with continuity, it would be helpful when moving to the PC if you could start with the same regional scale map and then work through the appraisal of the prospect in greater detail. I mentioned the use of bespoke tools earlier, the advantage being that they are developed so that the maps are connected directly to the data that you need to continue with a more detailed appraisal of the prospect. Using a map sheet that focuses only on the interpretation The detail that you might wish to select from the data tree and discuss could include the time interpretation. It's worth taking a moment to note the contour annotation. It has been placed in areas where overposting with other data is minimized. Depth structure with additional sun-shaded effect. It is easier to see this map's interpretation of the faults and the strong surface-fault relationship. Depth structure with field and prospect closures showing probable migration pathways. There is a slight adjustment to the contour labeling to avoid the indicative migration pathways. And prospect volumes with a summary report. The time and attention spent gridding the surface fault relationships will help when we try to determine the prospect volumes. To support discussions where the information presented is tied to the source data and where various scenarios might be discussed, these alternate interpretations can be recalculated and evaluated while you're at your booth. This may support the investor's decision that further analysis, perhaps scheduling time at your data room, would be worthwhile. And this takes us on to our final offering. What might you provide the now interested investor as takeaway content? What would they need to perhaps convince their partners that attending a data room is time well spent? Everything that we've presented as part of the discussions can be captured in a multi-layered PDF and handed over on a USB stick. The layered PDFs are one of many formats available, but perhaps the most suitable because they provide high-definition images and they are also geospatially aware. So when we create the PDF, every layer is initially turned on as active. So I'll just unactivate a few and get back to an initial grid that we were looking at. Remove some of the supporting information. I'll keep my color bar, faults, and remove the seismic from Kingdom. And I've got some overlays, so I'll just remove some of the migration and the volume reports. Great. So you can reproduce some of the maps that you have seen and then go through each of the interpretations layer by layer and make the decision for yourself whether you would like to visit this more, study it more in a data room. I appreciate that many of you will have been promoting prospects for many years, and that there will be other factors such as your experience, your reputation for working up commercial opportunities, and your personal networks that will help you attract that investor to your stand. We just wanted to take this opportunity to share with you the way maps can help you communicate your expertise as effectively as possible. If you would like further information, you can find it on our website, or you can email us on info@petrosys.com.au. Thank you.